everyone, it is Jackie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Get a little bit closer so I can see you guys. So it's been a while since I've posted again. I posted, I think, at the end of October, and several weeks have gone by, and here we are. So I wanted to check in. I thought I'd do an all-around bookish update. Got several things I'll talk to you guys about. I actually finished a book, y'all. Like, that's the number one exciting thing to report. So I read Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I have the hardcover here because I like the hardcover. I think it's pretty. Got it from Book of the Month quite a while back. But I listened to it on audio, and it was phenomenal on audio. I highly recommend it in that format. I read a little bit in this just when I didn't have the ability to listen to audio. But I really say do it on audio, because this is about a woman, Lucy, who goes back to her hometown because a podcast has begun dredging up something that happened 5 years earlier. And I don't really want to say a whole lot more than that, because I really think the more blind you go into it, the more entertaining it is. Lucy, as a main character, she was so funny. She made me laugh out loud multiple times. So, highly recommend Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. So, this is the first book I've read that I've finished since August, which is depressing, but life happens. So, highly recommend that one. I'm currently in the middle of two books. One is Secrets of Adulthood by Gretchen Rubin. So this is nonfiction. It's a book of aphorisms, which basically are teaching stories. So the subtitle of this is Simple Truths for Our Complex Lives. So it's broken up into different sections. Let me get past the intro here. The first section is The Project of Happiness. So I'll just read a couple of these. There is no right way to create a happier life, just as there is no best way to cook an egg. One of the best ways to make others happy is to be happy yourself. It helps me think more clearly about, I don't know, happiness, life, friendships, all the different things. Just boiling it down to those few words. There's something about that my brain really latches onto. This is one that I happen to love because most of my best friends have come from work, with the exception of my bestie Macy. She and I met in college. But the rest of my really good friends tend to come from work. And so this one really speaks to me. It says, working together often builds friendships faster than having fun together. And I think that's cool, too. I think you see a different side of a person when you work with them. You get to see kind of like their ethics, their work ethic, their morals. You get to see a lot of that when you're working with someone. So I think it helps build that relationship. You have to learn to trust each other in the work environment. So I think that helps just in like the day-to-day friendship aspect. So I'm about halfway through this one. I'm not reading it quickly. Obviously, I could knock this out in no time if I wanted to, but I really want to absorb what it says. So I'm only doing it a section at a time. That's why it's taken me, I think I've been reading this since like July or August. So that's that one. And then the other one is Throne of Glass. Finally jumping into Throne of Glass. Thank you, Erin, for pushing me to get into it. This is one of my new besties, Erin. It's one of her favorite series, maybe her favorite series of all time. She actually has gone and reread it. We were going to reread it together, but I got a slow start and she did not. She powered through all of them again. I think it was her second or third reread. So yeah, I'm about 30% of the way through. I'm really enjoying it. I would love to have a day I could just sit and binge read. I'm hoping maybe I can do that. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Maybe I can sit down for a day and just power through whatever I have left. Not that I'm trying to read it quickly, but I feel like it gets me more involved in the story and I get more immersed in the world if I have time to really sink into it without a lot of other distractions. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. So Throne of Glass. So I'm actually reading, so that makes me happy. I'm love to have that going. I also, speaking of my new bestie, Erin, she and I just took a trip to Winston-Salem on Saturday. So I'm filming this on Tuesday. So we took a trip on Saturday to Winston-Salem. So she lives in the Charlotte area. I live in Southwest Virginia. So that was, it wasn't halfway, but it was still, you know, within easy driving distance for both of us. So we drove down there, met up, and we did a little exploring. And I'll put a couple pictures up of the area that we were in. We were in Reynolda Village, which highly recommend if you're in the Winston-Salem area. If you don't already know about it, look it up because it's just so cute, so quaint. Very popular. There were tons of people there on Saturday, that's for sure. We started out at Joe's, which is a coffee shop and bakery. They make delightful homemade donuts, and their coffee was delicious as well. That's where we started, and then we made our way to a bookstore that they have in that village. So I thought I'd do a little haul from that trip. So it's called the Book House. So as you can see here, I got a bookmark and a sticker from the sweet cashier that was in there who realized that we were visiting for the first time. Also got a bookmark because I am obsessed with books and cats. So this is perfection. Now, yes, this did come with the little stringy thing. They don't last in my house because if so, I lose my bookmark because of said cats. They'll go off with it. So I always have to take those little tassels off, unfortunately. And then I did buy one book. I did buy Crown of Midnight. So that way I'm ready to jump into this when I finish Throne of Glass. And I always like to patronize a local, an independent bookstore. And, you know, books. Yes, I sniffed my book. I sure did. And then the last thing, Erin and I both bought one of these, is this glass that has book spines all the way around it, which is just makes me super happy. I need to drink out of it. I've got it washed and ready. All I've got to do is put myself some iced coffee in here and I will be all set to go. So that's the haul from the Book House. We'll definitely be going back in there. It also has a coffee shop, which we didn't realize until we got in there. So we will likely be getting coffee there as well next time we visit. So that was that part of the adventure. After we did that, we decided to make a run to one of my favorite places on earth, McKay's, used books and a bunch of other things. So we made our way there. It's in a different location than when I had last been. I've been 2 or 3 other times, but this was in a new location. It's all on one floor. Previously, it had an upstairs that I'd actually never visited. But they have, excuse me, let's get a drink of water. Okay, so they have used books, board games, puzzles, like action figure collectibles, records, DVDs. They may have CDs. I don't know if they have CDs. I didn't look specifically, but I know they had, DVDs, and I know they have a large selection of vinyl. And they may have had some other things, but to be quite honest, it was so big, and after we had been in there about 2 hours, we were both in pain, backs and feet. We're not feeling so good, so we will have to go back for a second trip. Oh, darn. I just hate it when that happens. But we both made out with a pretty good stash of books. I thought I'd do a little haul. I just want to be very clear. This is very unusual for me. I don't go out and buy a ton of books, especially right now, because I know I'm going to be moving soon, and I don't want to have to move but so many. But sometimes you just can't pass them up when the deals are as good as they are. So let me give you a little rundown of some of these books that I got. So first up this is a book that I do own this in hardcover, but every other book that I have in the series is in paperback. And so I wanted it in paperback. And so it's Return to Virgin River by Robin Carr. I got to get that Ucky sticker off of it. I paid $1 for this book. So it's originally $16.99. So I'm feeling pretty good about that one. Then we have, let's see. I know I had another one I got for yeah, so I got 2 Ellen Hilderbrand books that I haven't yet read that I'm super excited to read. $1 and $1.50. This was in the bargain book section. So, yes. I mean, $1 and $1.50. Okay, I need to stop getting so excited about the prices. Okay, next is I have a couple of nonfiction. So I Will Find You by Detective Lieutenant Joe Kenda. He is a retired homicide detective. He also had has a couple shows on investigative discovery. He's got American Detective. Whoa, sorry. Whoopsie. Kick to the stand. So he has American Detective, I believe is the one that's on now. And then prior to that, Homicide Hunter was his show. This one was $4, I'm pretty sure. I already took the tag off a couple of them. $4. And this is Beyond the Body Farm by Dr. Bill Bass and John Jefferson. Dr. Bass is the man who started the Body Farm at the University of Tennessee. So this has helped the police officers, FBI, etc., understand, and medical examiners understand how bodies decompose under different circumstances. So you can go and see bodies in various stages of decay on this body farm, so you can understand entomology and all that sort of thing. So this is about that. So it says, a legendary bone detective explores murders, mysteries, and the revolution in forensic science. I am a total true crime nerd. I was a criminal justice major. I love this stuff. So that hence why I have both of these. Okay. I don't think y'all could see that. My cat just jumped up trying to grab the trim. Okay, so let's see what other. I have a few other nonfiction. So, they had a pretty good section of like mystical and crystals and that sort of thing. So I got the Modern Guide to Energy Clearing. So I paid just under $12 for that for a $17 book. And it's in amazingly good shape. Like, I'm not even sure anybody's even read this one. Then we have Crystals for Beginners. So that one was a $15 book. I got it half price, $7.50. So I'm super excited. I love crystals and I want to learn more about them and their uses and that sort of thing. So I just found a dog-eared page. So super excited about that one. Now this one not in the best of shape, but also it's big. It is the Encyclopedia of Crystals. As I said, I'm very curious about crystals. And so this one was originally $27 and I got it for $9. So I am very much looking forward to diving into this. I've got a very small collection of crystals, but a collection nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to looking into this and finding out more things that I can do with those crystals. So those are the rest of the nonfiction books I have. All right, now let's go through fiction. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here's one more nonfiction. It was hiding. I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. She was a reporter, a journalist. She also had an online blog where she talked about cold cases. And truecrimediary.com was the name of the website. She is the reason that the Golden State Killer was captured, ultimately. She brought attention to the case. She was tireless in her efforts to help coordinate with the police and with her, with her research abilities and that sort of thing. She worked very closely with Paul Holes, who is one of the detectives who helped bring down the Golden State Killer. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2016 before she was able to finish her book. But her husband, Patton Oswalt, worked with Billy Jensen, who was her researcher, to help finish the book. And it's stellar. I read it. I listened to it on audio, which was really good. But I wanted to have a copy of the book because I would like to reread it because I just found her to be very fascinating. Just the dedication she had to finding this horrible, horrible human being that raped and murdered so many people. She did a lot to help with that, and it's super impressive to me. Oh, I got really close. Sorry, really close to the camera. Okay, a couple books here that I'm excited about. One is I Was Anastasia by Ariel Lawhon. Got this one for $4.50. I always like a bargain. So this is a biographical fiction, historical fiction, about Anastasia Romanoff. There are rumors that she was able to escape when the Bolshevik secret police came in and took the entire imperial family. Is kind of a take on that, and with a woman being found who says she is Anastasia. I've read one other book by her. It's called Codename Helene, which is about Nancy Wake, who was part of the French resistance in World War II. At one point, she was the #1 person on the Nazis' most wanted list. She was known as the White Mouse. Fabulous story. Nancy Wake is my hero. She was one badass bitch. So highly recommend that book. I'm looking forward to reading this one. I have another one of hers called The Frozen River, which is about a midwife in the 1700s who never lost a mother in childbirth. I think she had like 1,000 births on her records. Never lost a mother. Like, there are multiple doctors nowadays who can't say the same. Next up is Flock by Kate Stewart. So this one came highly recommended from Erin when we were at the store, at McKay's looking at books. She said she absolutely loves this whole series. When someone recommends a series that heavily, I can't help but want to try it, especially someone who is as similar to me as Erin is. And so I am excited about that. Looks like this is going to have some suspense along with romance. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. 2 more, and then we'll finally be done. Next up, this is, I think, probably the most expensive book I got. It's Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I couldn't leave this. Like, it's in perfect condition. I love this cover, and I love the edges of the page, the deckled edges. They make me so happy. So I got this one at $14 for a, let's see, I don't know how much this one is normally. It doesn't say on the back. Oh well, doesn't matter. I wanted it, so I got it. It's gorgeous. I started reading it, then I had to return it to the library, so I didn't get to finish it, but I'm super excited to jump into it again. And then the last one I got was The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. I've been wanting to read this one for quite a while. This is another one I got from the library and then did not finish and had to take back. So this one will be a winter read. If you can see from the cover, you've got snow-capped mountains, snow on the ground. So this feels like it would be a fabulous winter read. So we will add that to the winter TBR cart. And I think that's it. So that's the haul. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 13 books at McKay's, and it was less than $100. So I'm super proud about that, because that's super cheap in my opinion. So I'm very excited about my bargains, and now I've got to figure out where to put them on my bookshelves, because yeah, they full, y'all. So that was my haul. I am looking forward to continuing to read now that I seem to be back on a good reading pace. Gonna finish Throne of Glass hopefully in the next week or so. And then I do still have 3 books left from my October TBR, Serpents in the Wings at Night, The Naturals, and The Housemaid. Still have those 3 to read. Yeah, Listen for the Lie was not on my TBR for October, but I got a copy from the library. Then I realized that I'm a dork, and I had it in my Audible library already. I had bought it at some other point when I had credits, because I knew I wanted to listen to it on audio. So anyway, I was already into it by the time I realized that I had it and didn't need it from the library. So I had to finish it. But I'm hoping over the next... So today is the 21st. I'm going on a trip coming up soon, And so I'm hoping to have a little bit of time to read. Probably won't read a ton on that trip just because I'm going with my fella. And so we're going to be doing lots of stuff out and about. We're going to the Smoky Mountains and we're going to see beautiful leaves, probably go for a hike, do all the things in the area. So looking forward to that, but probably won't get a ton of reading done. But when I come back, I have 3 days off before I have to go back to work. So maybe then we'll get some reading done. I think that's all for this update. I just wanted to check in with you guys. I feel like it's been forever. And yeah, I feel like it's been forever and life has just been crazy. Work has gotten crazier and I just haven't had as much time for reading or anything fun and bookish. Hopefully I'm turning that around with this trip that we took last weekend. We're going to go back and do more damage at McKay's and go back to the book house for sure. Hopefully sometime soon. But anyway, I think that's all I have for now. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, day, night, whatever it is where you are. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. That would be fabulous. I would love to continue building this community, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Thanks so much for being here. Bye!